Happy hour for a Glastonbury woman has nothing to do with cocktails at the local watering hole. For Laura Shipley, it's the time she spends shopping. But what Shipley buys is not all going in the closet. She has a compulsive shopping and returning habit. Channel 3's Irene O'Connor has more on what's being now called shopping bulimia.
I love to go at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, grab myself a nice cup of coffee, and go through all the nice stores and see what I would buy if I could buy it all and if I had all the money in the world.
For Laura Shipley, that's the routine, 3 or 4 times a week. But since she's on a budget, she buys, feels some remorse, and then returns.
If I do get into that guilt trip, then the next day is a return day. But then it's not so bad to return them because then I'm back in the store and I get to go through that all over again.
For Shipley, it's become a vicious cycle that she herself sometimes can't keep track of.
Yesterday, I had to go return a pink sweater that I bought 2 of because I must have been, you're like in a drug-induced coma sometimes when you get in there and you see it and it just is so beautiful and you didn't remember you were there for happy hour yesterday and you forgot that you bought it already.
Yes, happy hour. It's what Shipley calls her 4 p.m. shopping excursions.
I get to feel like no one can get in my way at that point. It's my time of the day. No one's telling me to go anywhere or do anything or be anything. And it's up to me to just enjoy it. And I love it. I get such a high from it.
But Shipley says when she gets home, that high goes away. And she feels the urge to get it back by hitting the stores again.
I'd say I return probably half of what I buy. I leave and I feel great until I see the bills sometimes, and then I really don't feel so good.
Psychologist Laura Saunders at the Institute of Living at Hartford Hospital says this addictive behavior is common when someone is trying to mask some sort of emotional void.
It is like, drinking or using drugs. They take away your feelings initially, but the feelings eventually come back.
And Saunders says the quick fix that shopping gives you can be more harmful than helpful.
You have to go back into the store. You have to continue to do it because it didn't really resolve the underlying feelings.
I tend to overbuy pink, so I have about 20 pink things that look just about the same. So I think when I wear them, people think I'm wearing the same thing. So then I need to go buy more. So that fuels the shopping need in me.
We as a society actually value a lot new things and new clothes. So there's a component, societal component to it as well that's very reinforcing. Oh wow, you're wearing a new outfit today. You look great.
And Shipley says she feeds into that, mostly at boutiques where the salespeople work on commission.
They throw in the earrings and a nice pair of shoes and don't you look so good and don't you need a wrap and what about that party you're going to, and next thing you know you've got a lot of stuff in your bag that you hadn't counted on. Those are definitely return times for me.
As you might imagine, Saunders says shoppers with this compulsive habit could also run into financial trouble.
They're probably using credit cards for most of this. They're not making cash purchases. They're using credit cards. They're not returning all their items. So it is creating a secondary layer of problem for them, and it creates a financial crisis for them.
Saunders says the key to getting out of this cycle is to find healthier ways to deal with stress, anxiety, or depression.
Exercising, talking to friends, socializing. There are ways to cope that are much more productive and will lead to these feelings being relieved instead of the cyclical nature of buying, spending, returning.
Shipley says since she's such a good returner, her happy hours haven't put her into any financial trouble. She says she does keep herself to a weekly budget and only spends within her means. I'm Irene O'Connor, Channel 3 Eyewitness.